Oh yeah, she's that country girl who overcame the stigma that Southern women are barefoot, backwoods, and backwards. Now she's an articulate voice for conservative values and wisdom in America. Sitting on her front porch, sharing common sense, here's Marnie.
Hi, welcome to my front porch where we talk about common sense values in the modern world. Today I'd like to share with you an interview that I did with my dad out here on the front porch, just kind of calm, chill interview about what he has seen over his 87 years as an active player in the political environment, especially in the southeastern United States over the years. And he has noticed some changes. And we're going to talk about those changes, especially today's segment is about the change in both the Democrat and the Republican parties and the shift and what those shifts mean to us today and what we can do about it. Hi, I'm Marnie Kuhns, and this is my dad, Jack Morton, and we're going to be talking about some of the changes that he's seen over his lifetime. You're, what, 87, Daddy?
Yeah.
87. He's seen changes on both the Republican side and the Democrat side over the years, and he's been very involved in government in the past. You worked on Larry McDonald's campaign, didn't you?
Yeah.
And Larry McDonald was a Democrat in Georgia, and why is it that he ran on the Democratic Party? Because he was really conservative.
Well, the area he was in had never elected a Republican. I mean, they couldn't get any votes. It was a Democratic section for sure. Yeah.
But the Democrats of that day, were they like they are now, really pro-socialism?
No. You can tell when you read this, you'll see that he was a different kind of Democrat.
Okay, so he was an anomaly even among Democrats then.
Yeah.
But the fact that they would even vote for him is kind of unusual, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is something that Larry McDonald said back in 1983. This was right before he was shot down in Flight 007, the Korean airline, right?
Right.
He said, I personally believe that we don't need a lot more laws. I think we've got far too many laws on the books now. That's part of the problem. We don't need more government, more laws. We need a lot less. I'm up here in Washington, D.C., trying to dismantle a lot of this giant government. When you pass a law with the current attitude in Congress, what you get in a law today, you get either more spending, more taxes, or more controls. Which do you want? Do you want more spending? I think we've got too much. Do you want more taxes? I think we are taxed too heavily now. Do you want more controls over your life? Does anybody say, hey, look, I really believe the federal government needs to control me. I want to be a slave. Please tell me how to run every facet of my life. I don't hear many people saying that. I think most people say, I think it's time we get the government off our backs and out of our pockets. And I think it's more true today, right?
Right.
Right. What are you seeing in the difference between, say, Democrats over the last, say, 3 or 4 decades? What are you seeing the progression of what they're putting in?
Well, they're just for expanding government in almost any way they can. I mean, their main purpose is to expand the government. And as you do that, you enslave the people. So that's gradually happening over a period of time. It's seems to be speeding up today.
Right. So they're really blatantly doing it now, what they would have kind of done in a more hidden way.
They come out and make speeches now and say, I'll do this if you elect me. I'll spend more, increase the size of government.
Okay. So it's getting really where you've got the people that want smaller government on one end and then the ones who want bigger. It's becoming more polarized, I think, with time.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about why would they be so blatant about that now, where before there's definitely a change in what they're willing to come out and say that they're going to do than they were before. Yeah. On some levels, maybe our current president has them a little scared and they're afraid they're going to lose ground because I think they thought they about had us. They about had us ready for socialism, and when he kind of turned it around and went back another direction. He's like he took the football and he's running totally in an opposite direction with it. And they're like, we got to hold on to our ground. So we were going to have to really make it polarized and say what we want to do and see how many people we got on our side. And they're hoping they got more on their side probably than we do, I guess, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was reading a book. Oliver DeMille wrote a book called Freedom Shift, and in it he talks about how about every century there's a shift toward more force or more freedom. And any time one of those happens, it's really only like 3% of the population that's actively involved. Even in the Revolutionary War, only a small percentage of the people really fought. Some of them were for the British, some of them just didn't even care.
Somebody taught you well, Marnie. Who was that?
You want credit? This is my inspiration. So I think they're trying to see if they got more of that 3%. You know, I mean, do they have their 3% to take us another direction? The risk that they're taking is they're waking the conservatives up, right?
Yes, a lot of people are waking up now.
Yeah. Where in your day, was it easy to get people to pay attention to conservative stuff?
No.
They didn't want to fool with it, did they?
No.
They didn't really see what was happening, or
Most of them had no idea.
no. Where today, I mean, what they talk about, say on Sean Hannity or Candace Owens or Ben Shapiro, all those people, they're talking about stuff you couldn't even get people to even listen to. They would have said it was crazy before.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, in a way, the left is doing us a favor because they're waking us up. They're making us have to take a stand to some degree, right? Yeah. I think it was Ezra Taft Benson. He was the Secretary of Agriculture under Eisenhower, right? You were a big fan of Ezra Taft Benson. And he said there would come a day where you'd have to pick a side. You couldn't wander around in the middle of the road. You'd get hit by traffic.
Traffic going both ways.
Yeah, you're going to get hit by both. So we've got to pick a side. And I say we pick the freedom side. What do you think?
That's what I'd rather be on.
Yeah. I think Larry McDonald had it right. I don't want more big government or more taxes or somebody telling me when to brush my teeth and what time I got to eat or whatever. All right. Let's choose freedom.